How much does it cost to become a United States citizen? Now, that may be a weird question to hear from Nomad Capitalist because a lot of our audience already are US citizens. Those that aren't often don't want to become a US citizen. And some people have already given up US citizenship that watch our channel. But this question has a broader implication than just the specific answer. I'm going to give you the answer and tell you why it matters in this video. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Henderson, and if you'd like to work with the Nomad Capitalist team and myself to create a holistic offshore plan that includes your citizenships, learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. Now let me talk about the cost to obtain US citizenship, because if you look all around the internet, people are asking this question, and there's a very technical answer. As of today, when I'm filming this, it costs $640 plus an $85 biometric fee, $725 in total. That's the cost to be naturalized as a United States citizen. Now, the Trump administration, as I'm talking about this, has recently put out a proposal saying, let's increase the cost by 80%. They also want to reduce fee waivers and fee reduction. So in certain cases right now, you can pay nothing. In certain cases, you can pay less if you have certain circumstances. I think if you're disabled, that kind of stuff. But they want to raise it to $1,170. Plus the biometric fee, get rid of the exemptions, and that would be the cost. Now, in the grand scheme of things, you'd say, well, hey, $1,170 is not a bad deal. I recently was sitting here in Bogota. I had a hamburger, and a guy came up to me and said, you're Andrew from the Nomad Capitalist. I said, yeah. And he said, you may not like me because my goals for my family, I'd like to get either a European Union citizenship, which I know you're against, or brace yourself, we kind of would like to get US citizenship. For us, that's kind of a good thing. Now, I've never said don't become an EU citizen. I think there's things to be aware of if you are a nomad capitalist, you've got a high income. Certainly the European Union is not really gung-ho for high income earners. They're not really on your team. The US, in different ways, is the same. I've never said don't get a US citizenship. I've said be aware of the consequences. And so $1,100 or $1,200, it is a lot of money for some people who want to go to the United States. A lot of people have a hard time paying the fees to get in. But it's a small price to pay for one of the world's best passports. Here's the macro picture, though, and here's what people don't understand. When you become a citizen of a country like the United States, you don't just walk in and here's your passport. People in the media wrongly talk about the United States Citizenship by Investment Program. What they're actually talking about is the EB-5 program or other green card programs where you make an investment and you just get to move ahead of the line a little bit faster than someone who may be looking for a job or who has a family member in the US. You get to jump the line a bit. In some cases, if you're Chinese, you can't, but you still have to live in the United States and wait the same amount of time to be naturalized. You've got to spend years in the United States. You've got to meet all the other criteria. And so set aside the need to speak English, set aside the need to understand, Betsy Ross and the Star Spangled Banner and all that, how many branches of government. Living in the United States is going to have a severe financial effect on anyone who goes there. Because the United States not only has very high tax rates if you live there, which is a requirement to become a citizen. You can't just go in, get your permanent residence card, come back one day a year and not pay tax. You've got to be there almost all the time. And that means you're going to pay a high level of tax. If you live in Colombia and you've got a large collection of properties that you're renting out, the United States is going to tax your income on that, subject to certain credits and treaties and things like that. You're going to be taxed on your worldwide income. And so I've seen situations where I've seen Americans who are marrying people from overseas. They want to bring their spouse to the United States. We had one gentleman, his Asian wife had like a $100 million property empire. Now in her case, there was some pretty advanced tax planning that we could do with our attorneys. But in her case, one of the biggest challenges was just all the paperwork. It was going to cost her maybe close to $100,000 a year just to handle the paperwork. So that may not be a lot of money for her, but it's something to consider. Okay. Once you become a U.S. citizen, once you pay that $640 or whatever they turn it into, Now you have the only citizenship for effective purposes in the world that not only has the legal right, but also the legal ability to collect taxes on your income and your assets extraterritorially. Now, there is no wealth tax in the United States right now. Who knows if they add one in the future? For me, the big price of US citizenship is you're signing up for a lifetime of tax obligations. And if you're a Westerner, I think you understand what I'm talking about. If you're from other countries that are more emerging, where maybe you can kind of skirt around the tax man, or the government says things but no one really listens, that is not how the United States works. They have the power to collect money, and they do. If you owe them more than 50 grand, they will turn off that passport that you just paid for. And so I bring this up to open up a broader conversation about the cost of obtaining citizenship. Everything has a cost. There's a time cost, there's an opportunity cost, there's a money cost. I constantly see people ignoring these costs, right? Now, is US citizenship always going to be available for immigrants? Yeah. I think they're going to continue to raise the price of admission, just as a lot of other countries do. Okay, so there's a certain need to hurry if you want to get any passport. But understand that there's an opportunity cost to obtain any citizenship. If you do not wish to spend 10 or 11 months a year living in the United States, you're not going to like the process of getting US citizenship, because that's what it takes. If you don't like the idea of paying progressive income tax rates that go up to 36 or 37% on your ordinary income, you don't want to pay on your capital gains, you don't want to pay on your worldwide assets and other businesses or incomes you have overseas, you're not going to like becoming a US citizen. And so the United States is somewhat unique in that when you become a citizen, even if you leave, you've got to pay. But also understand that people say, I'd like to become a citizen of France, I'd like to become a citizen of the Netherlands, or whatever. Now, there are ways that we've helped people where, okay, you're married to someone who's French, and so you don't have to live there, and there's not a tax obligation, there's a certain way to do it. But in general, if you want a passport in a Western country, you can either make an investment through like a golden visa program or something like the US EB-5 program. That puts you to the front of the line. In some countries, you don't have to live there, and they'll give you your passport, and it can be tax advantaged. But the point is, there's a cost to obtain every citizenship in time, money, and opportunity. In the US in particular, those costs are quite high. For some, it's worth it, and I wouldn't want to talk someone out of it if their goal was to live and work in the United States and the price was worth it for them, as long as you're aware of it. So my point is, when it comes to getting any citizenship, be aware of all of the costs associated. That's monetary and non-monetary. How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.